So this video of mine, can't really see it too well, but in this video I'm under the influence of several substances. And this one right here is the first video that I filmed sober, which is kind of crazy to look at. Look at this picture a lot. It's really out of focus for y'all, but this is a picture of me and my mom right before we left to go to the first VidCon that I ever went to, which was in 2012. And I wasn't clean yet. And I didn't get clean until like a month and a half after that event. But as of this video being uploaded, I have now been clean for 6 years, which is insane to me. For those who have been around for a while, you'll be aware of this, but I am a recovering drug addict. It's not something I hide in my day-to-day life, but it's also not something that I go into egregious detail about, because why would I? Getting into specifics is nothing short of just self-serving pity generation, which is not something that I am about. But I think this year in particular for me is it's hitting me heavier than years past. And I say heavier, but I mean that in nothing but a good way. Nothing but a good way. I think the word to describe all of this is perspective. It's one of the reasons why I leave videos like that up public for anyone to view and watch. It's powerful for me to be able to see the changes that I've made in my life and the direction that my life has taken. It's really powerful for me individually to see that. And I think, like, first and foremost, that's why it's there. It's like a me thing. It's a reference for what I've done, and it's like a checkpoint that I can look back on my life, all these videos that I've made. 6 years ago, I could not have predicted that I would still be here. Which is really intense, of course. All of this is intense. This is gonna be an intense video because this is intense stuff. But yeah, when I first moved to Los Angeles 3 years ago, I was packing all of my things together, kind of going through the entirety of my life's build-up, because I'm not really one to clean regularly. And the thing that really hit me the most was this moment. I was going through some just old things, and I found a lot of materials from when I was in rehab. And one of the things that I found was a poster. I am really unskilled in the visual arts. I'm not good at drawing or like designing or laying things. I think I've gotten better, but I am historically terrible at this thing. And this was an activity that we did. And on this activity, we were like making a diagram of our past and how it led to our present, and then what we saw for our future. And I remember being really like sort of depressed about the future, just sort of like thinking about things and goals, and honestly putting things down just because I wanted them, but I didn't see them realistically happening. And I'm reminded of posts that I've seen that I'm sure has been stolen and reposted by various basic people all over the place, but it's so good. And to paraphrase, because I don't have like a specific reference of the post, it says something along the lines of, remember when you wanted what you have now? The life that I have right now is like everything I could have dreamed of 6 years ago. It's not glamorous or pretty or whatever, but it's mine. And I think more than anything, that's like the most incredible thing to me. I would love to meet myself 6 years ago. I would love to have that kind of sit-down conversation of just this person who I was 6 years ago and who I am now, and just like see what that would be like. I didn't know myself at all. I had no knowledge of self. I was just completely was a facade. I was everything that I thought I was supposed to be, and that wasn't even working, and it was like a costume of an identity. I knew two things though. I knew, number one, that I wanted to make things, and number two, I wanted to feel significant. Maybe back then my ideas of significance were like much grander and honestly more superficial in regards to just number of people involved in the things that I'm doing, but I feel like I've achieved that, and that's really cool. Being and staying clean is something that I deal with every single day of my life. And I don't think many people know that. Why would they know that? They're not in my head, they're not living my life, and on the surface, for all intents and purposes, I've done it, I've beaten it, I've overcome it. There are scars that will never fully heal over. There are experiences that I had that still haunt me often, and I have to live with those, and I do live with those. Yeah, but I'm here, though. I'm here not doing everything that I would have dreamed of, you know, but there's still time. I'm doing it. I'm doing any of it. And that for me is like crazy. Some of you may be asking, why make this video? Why share this part of myself? Why talk about this thing that I do? And why talk about it in such broad strokes? I talk about it because being visible, both to myself and the world around me, I think is incredibly important. Oftentimes when I refer to myself as a drug addict, people kind of wince at it, or they don't see it, or they look confused by it because I don't look like a drug addict. There's so much stigma and stereotypes as to what that actually means, that the humanity of it gets lost. Chances are in your life you are involved with or know somebody who is involved with someone who is living through or with addiction. It is such a quiet and shameful epidemic that kills so many people every single year. And we don't talk about it. I think we have a tendency to kind of focus on, and I have this tendency too, the before and after pictures, the transformation aspect of it all, like the point A, the point B, and the cool checkpoints along the way. But I think we do ourselves a disservice there because we miss the in-between times. And progress is absolutely not a straight line, and it's not been a straight line for me. I don't think it's been a straight line for anyone in this life. I still feel very lost and very broken, which are a lot of the reasons why I got so bad in the first place. But that's part of it. Like, that's part of life. That's part of the general experience. That doesn't isolate me from humanity. That kind of connects me to it in a very intrinsic way. I don't talk about mental illness or queer issues. I don't talk about any of those things to single myself out and make me feel special. I don't do any of that. I do it to relate. You know, because this is my experience, and if I'm not being honest with that, if I'm not allowing that to inform the way that I live my life, then I'm being dishonest to myself. And it's when I'm being dishonest that I disconnect from the very humanity that connects me to the world. I want anyone out there who feels so lost that they can't see it tomorrow, I want them to know that there is one. And I don't just say that. I really don't just say that. One of the reasons I got this tattoo that says trust the process right here is to remind myself of that exact thing. And I haven't said this in a while, but I'm going to say a methodology of thinking that has literally kept me alive. Regardless of what happens today, regardless of what has happened in the past, the world is going to keep on spinning. Tomorrow in the morning, the sun is going to come up. There is a point B to all of this. There is something in the future. There is a future. None of us can possibly know what that future is. And for anyone out there who can't see it, or doesn't want to see it, or feels like they just want to opt out of it, I implore you, please don't. It's not all fluffy rainbows, sunshine, it gets better, noise. No, it's none of that. I don't think it's ever gonna be that. I don't think it should be that. Happiness for me is not the goal, you know, because emotions are temporary. All emotions are temporary. I'm more intrinsically linked to growth and answering honest questions that I ask myself and the world around me. Some of the people in my life, they kind of view some of the things that I've talked about or experienced as kind of separate issues. They look at bisexuality, they look at being non-binary, they look at mental health, and drug addiction, all that. They look at those things as separate issues, but they're not. They're all the same. 6 years ago, today, I started a process that I have stayed on and stayed true to. And that's the process of asking myself sometimes really difficult questions and attempting to answer them honestly. And 6 years on from that, I am still alive. I am, you know, a work in progress, but things are okay. And that's more than I could have ever dreamed of. I want to thank each and every one of you who have watched any of my videos over the past 6 years, because you have contributed to the saving of my life in ways that you can't even possibly know. I can't really express it. My family, my friends, my support networks, the various jobs that I've had, my cat. It's amazing. It's compelling to me to keep going. And for me, that is such a gift because I've not always felt that. This isn't entirely about me, because y'all's stories have fueled me. They've made me feel connected to a humanity that I honestly never felt I could feel connected to. And that's something that I will always be grateful for as well. 6 years is a long time, but I still feel like this is just the beginning. And that's exciting. And it's exciting that I'm excited about it. And I hope that you guys on your various journeys, on your individual paths, can find something similar to that, because I feel like that's all we can do, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Before I start sobbing, I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for sharing your stories in the comments. Thanks for supporting me in whatever way that you do. I love you guys a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.